biggest takeaway from Chinese history this semester?
I think that what I've learned the most this semester is the fact that China's language, or the Chinese language, has had the most influence on their history, or more than anything else that I've been able to tell. Because,
So more than their like religion or their like geographic positioning and stuff like that even?
I'd say their geographic positioning is actually a part of the language.
How so?
Because what happened, Chinese is a pictorial language, right? Yeah. It's a pictographic language. So, character-based, it's not reflective of how you pronounce it when you look at it. Whereas the Western language, the Romances, all based off Latin, they're, like, you can read it by looking at it.
Yeah, they're
but,
phonetic.
Yeah, I can look at French and read it out loud, and then have no idea what it said. But the thing that kept China unified as a whole, and over the course of its history, has been its language. That's been the point that's brought it all back together.
But how does it have to do with geography? You said that it's part of it.
China's geography isolates it.
Okay.
Because you've got the big Tibetan plateau and the deserts and all that. And the only way that they were ever able to trade with others was the Silk Road, which is long, hard through the mountains.
Yeah. So their language is, and more important than like religion and all that.
China's religion is interesting. It's not a religion in so many words.
Okay.
China is radically natural. In the West, they've got, what I call salvation religions.
Mm-hmm.
They're the belief that there is a higher power that will save you from some damnation after death, after you die. China, the Chinese religions, and China as a whole believes that they've got, when you die, you stay here. You can't be seen, you don't have your senses, but your spirit, in essence, is still kind of floating around.
Yes, okay.
And then, that's what ancestor worship is all about.
Right.
Belief that the spirits that are still here of all your ancestors can influence your life for better or for worse. If they make them happy, they're going to try and make you happy.
Alright. So how does that tie back to language? Does it?
The religion doesn't tie back to language, but religion has been, it's shown a pattern over Chinese history. Salvation religions they didn't even work in the West, crusade, all the fighting.
Yep.
But China recognizes that salvation religions are bad for them. There was this thing called the Yellow Turban Revolt, way back during the Han Dynasty, and what that was a salvation religion, because the government was failing, collapsing, and this guy, I can't even remember his name now, but he came up with a theory saying the sky was going to turn yellow, the Han's mandate of heaven was ending, and then from there they made some leap of the imagination and attempted to take over, and they claimed the mandate of heaven, and they burned, raped, and pillaged just large swaths of land all over China.
So poor government gave rise to salvation religions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then that happened again later on. Maybe it wasn't the poor government, but there was another salvation religion that started up. It was a branch of Christianity, because Christian missionaries had come into China, much to their dismay, and this guy was influenced by them, and he believed that he was Jesus' little brother.
okay. Sure.
Yeah. I never learned about it in Sunday school, can't imagine why. But the Taiping Rebellion was that guy gathering something like 30 million people. It was huge. And he went and tried to start his own country up in Manchuria, I believe. And
Right.
I don't know why I never heard about it before this course, but 20 million people died. It is the worst disaster next to World War II, just underneath it.
So intense.
That's one of China's repeating patterns through history. Salvation religions are bad. And it's part of the reason that the government today has the restrictions it does on religion.
Right. Because they think Salvation religions will destroy them.
They've been historically shown to be bad.
Alright. So, you were talking about language before I derailed you onto religion and stuff.
It's fine. Language, yeah, so that's the thing that I found most interesting. I had an interest in language history before, but China's really shown how, and then language also influences culture. In Japanese and Chinese, the way that you phrase something, like in English, someone knocks a big vase on the floor.
Yeah.
It breaks, and then we in English would be likely to say, John broke the vase.
Yeah.
Whereas in Chinese or Japanese or that language, many of the Asian character-based languages, it's the vase broke. There's no implication of blame or anything. Whereas in the West, the way that we say it, even if it was completely accidental,
Yeah.
it implies that someone was responsible for that or even directly says so.
Alright.
And that's also, that gives rise to kind of a communal feel.
So the sense of self is taken out of the language almost, so that they're kind of unified.
Yeah, and the unification, the communal, still another pattern. China has many patterns through its history. And communal feeling started way back when guys called Yao Shun and Yu, they're considered the founding fathers almost of China.
Alright.
And Shun, I believe, was the model of filial piety. And he was the one he trawled up and down a river trying to find a solution to China's flooding problems for 7 years. And even when he walked by his family, he didn't stop by and say hi, because he was just trying to fix the problem for the better of the community.
Alright.
And then, part of why the Great Leap Forward, everyone wanted to make the community better. And so, yes, it was hierarchically getting bigger as, the officials reported ever larger and larger numbers. But the people were so enthusiastic. They wanted to do this. And then even after the government trucks came and took away more food than their village could possibly provide and still leave enough for themselves, they were still happy to go and do it again.
Alright.
Community is a big part. Community and family in particular. Family is like the basis of Chinese culture. It comes back to the ancestor worship that we were talking about with religion.
Yeah. I know that's a big problem now with families, because they want boys to support them because it's part of their culture that the parents will go live with the son's family that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also given rise to the preference for boys as children.
Yeah.
And China's 51 or 52% male, 49, 48% female.
It's pretty big, even. It seems small, but considering our huge populations, it's pretty big.
Massive.
I know that's causing problems with lots of people not, finding wives and stuff.
Yeah. That's everything.
Alright. Really?
It can be, we'll see how long it is.
That didn't seem very long.